Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Project Auto YouTube channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. And in today's video, as you can see, we are here again with the 1998 Dodge Ram. A couple videos of this truck on the channel, so feel free to check those out. I'll leave a link for them in the description below. But in today's video, we're going to be showing you guys how to recharge the AC system in your car or truck. And in my case, the AC system on this 98 Ram is not working properly. So long story short, when I bought the truck, the AC did not work at all. I was able to get the compressor fixed and charged it last year, and it worked great. It blew cold. However, this year, not so much. The compressor still works. The compressor's fine. However, I just have a leak in the system somewhere. So it's not blowing cold air anymore, so we need to add some refrigerant to it. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I'm going to go over all the steps, all the reasons why you might need to recharge your AC system, and I'm also going to show you some things to look out for so you don't waste your money trying to recharge your AC system and it doesn't work. So we have our AC recharge kit right here. So it's just a can of refrigerant. Supposedly it's got the maximum cold air. It's the #1 best selling. It has leak sealer, protects your system, it extends the AC life. Nice thing about this kit is it has the gauge right up top here, which is awesome. This is the kind you want to get, so you have the gauge. So it's easy to read, easy to use, real simple. You have your hose that attaches to the back here, and then it has your port for your low pressure port to get that charged up for you, and then all the instructions are on the back side here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and check it out. All right, guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is just read the AC charging kit here. Just read all the instructions, read everything that's on the can. It's best to get familiar with the product that you're using, so you know exactly what to do before you get started. So don't just hook it up and start squeezing and just jump right into it. Always take your time, read the can, go over everything. That way you know exactly what to do, and you lower your chance of possibly screwing something up and costing yourself even more money, and then having to take your vehicle to the shop and have the AC system fixed, which can be very, very, very expensive. So let's go ahead and check it out. So on the front here, this is the R134A refrigerant, which is what most of, if not all, vehicles take now. So it kind of tells you what it is. So it's the AC Pro Ultra Synthetic AC Recharge Kit. It's the #1 selling recharge kit. So this is the best one to buy, and as I explained a little while ago, because it has the gauge so you can kind of read exactly how much is in your system, stuff like that. It's got the trigger, you have your hose that is actually a decent length, you have your easy connect here, which you just pull on the end here and it connects. This is the best kind to buy. Don't buy the little small cans and have to buy the little hose and guess how much Freon is in the system. Always just get the easiest you can get. Yes, this is going to be a little bit more expensive. However, I was able to pick this up at Walmart for about 35 bucks. It's not bad. Yes, you can get a can of refrigerant for probably 10 bucks, 15 bucks, 20 bucks. But I would rather spend the extra couple of bucks, 10 bucks, whatever, to get everything that you need. So you get the hose, you get the trigger, you get the gauge, you get everything all in one, so it's easy to use and you lower your chance of messing anything up. So starting on the back, so you kind of want to always just read everything. So it tells you a little bit about what's in here. So your formula with 2x cooling boosters, excellent leak sealing. We'll talk about that in a minute. It protects and extends the life of your AC system. Here's the little quick instructions, fast and easy. Is, find your low pressure port, measure how much is in the system, and then charge it accordingly. But there is instructions back here to go a little bit further in detail. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your hood, find the low pressure AC service port. I'll show you guys all that here shortly. And then you'll want to turn your engine on with the AC on full blast, attach the quick connect hose here, read your gauge, see where it's at, and this little chart here will tell you everything, what each color means, what you need to do based on where the needle's at. It talks a little bit about the AC system here, which again I'll show you guys all that here in a second. And then over here is your last few steps to get everything charged correctly, and then obviously stop charging when it's in the green. You don't want to overcharge your AC system. That's why it's very, very important to read these instructions carefully and make sure you know exactly what you're doing, because if you overcharge the system, you're going to be in trouble, because now you're going to have to take it to a professional who has professional gauges and hoses that can evacuate the system, get the excess refrigerant out, and get the system back to where it could be. Also, if you overcharge, you do run the risk of damaging your compressor to where you will have to replace the entire compressor. Before we get started any further, I do want to make note that anything in this video, I am not liable for any damages that may occur to your vehicle. If you're not comfortable doing this, by all means, go see a professional. They will take care of it for you. Like I said, I'm not liable for any misuse of this product. You just got to read these instructions very carefully. I'm going to show you how to do this. It's very, very simple. Just read your instructions and take your time. Don't rush, and make sure you do it right. So let's go ahead and start with step one, which we need to open up the hood and find our low pressure service port. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Alrighty, now that we're under the hood, you're going to want to find your low pressure port. The easiest way to do this is to locate your AC compressor. So mine's right here on top, and you'll see that there's two lines that come off the AC compressor. So you'll want to follow those. So let's go ahead and come on over here. So let's go ahead and follow this first one here. So this one comes off and comes right over here, and here's the port. Now in my case, this is actually labeled with an H. So this is the high pressure port. So this is not where you're going to service. And the cool thing is, on your AC recharge kit, it's actually going to say down here, our quick connect fitting will only attach to the low pressure port. So it's going to be really, really easy to find it. So obviously this is not the correct line, so let's go back up here. Here's the second one, so let's go ahead and follow it. And right down there it is, and I'll go ahead and stop right here. So I think I just found my issue as to why my AC needs charged again so quick. So as you saw, the high pressure port has a cap on it, and it looks like I screwed up, and the last time that I charged this, I did not put the cap back on. And that is probably why all of the refrigerant leaked out. So I'm gonna have to go get another cap. In the meantime, once we get this charged up, we'll put a piece of tape over it just to kind of hold it for now, so that way I'll try to limit the amount of refrigerant that leaks out. But that is your low pressure port there. As you can see, it's missing the cap, but this one would be labeled as well. If they're not labeled, all you have to do is undo the caps. And this one's on kind of tight. So when you undo the caps, and if it's large like this, it's not going to fit on. So you can see the difference there between that one and the one down there, how it's got a different attachment to it, different size, all that good stuff. That's a good way to tell. So this is not what we want. We want the other one. So now that we've found it, let's go ahead and check our instructions and see what's next. So next, we're going to want to go ahead and start up the vehicle and turn the AC on full blast. You can see we've already got it set to max AC. Go ahead and turn the fan up. So just as you guys just saw, the belt runs the pulley, which is always going to spin at all times. This plate right here on the front is the clutch, and what happens is when you turn on your AC, a magnet pulls this clutch in, and that's what engages your AC pump, and that's what starts pumping out the refrigerant, and then it goes through all of its course and all that good stuff, thus being turned into being blowed into cold air into your cabin. If this clutch is not spinning at all when you turn the AC on, it's probably best to go ahead and just take it to a shop, have a professional look at it. So, a lot of places will check them for free. A lot of places will check them for free. It's best to just take it to a shop, let them look at it, see what's wrong with it, because you don't want to waste your money on a recharge kit and then turn around and nothing, it didn't work, and then you're out $35 or however much you spent, and then you got to go to a shop and you got to have them check it, and then they say, well, you need a whole new AC compressor, or here's what's wrong with it, whatever the case is. So as you guys just saw, that was spinning. However, it was spinning and then it was stopping. It was spinning and it was stopping. So in that case, it's low on refrigerant. There's nothing. That's all there is to it. There's not enough refrigerant in there, so it's not able to blow enough cold air. so the compressor is going to kick on and off, on and off. So that's definitely a good way to tell. That's the first thing you want to check, is make sure that clutch turns on. Like I said, if it doesn't turn on, don't even bother wasting your time. Take it to a shop and let a shop take a look at your AC system, and they'll be able to tell you everything that's going wrong with it. So let's go ahead and get back to the charging. Alright, so now with the engine running, you want to go ahead and hook up your attachment to your low pressure port. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so as you guys can see, it is definitely low on refrigerant. So all you have to do at this point is you want to remove this little tab right here, shake up the can really good, make sure it's all shook up, and then you'll want to go ahead and add the Freon. Alright, so as you're doing this, when you squeeze the trigger, you want to go ahead and tilt this up and down. Okay? You want to tilt it up and down, it gets the Freon flowing, and as you can see now, my compressor is spinning, the clutch is spinning, and it's not kicked off yet. The green, needle's in the green, we're going to put a little bit more in it just to make sure it's ice cold. And as you're doing this, when it gets to the green, you want to go ahead and go in and feel your AC vents. Make sure they're blowing cold, so we'll go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so now we're inside the truck. We're going to go ahead and check the AC vents, so I can tell you right now that they're blowing cold. However, I've got my little handy dandy temperature reader here, infrared thermometer. We're going to go ahead and test it real quick. So just to show you, outside it's about 80 degrees. And then coming over to the AC vent, it's blowing out at about 67. So that's actually pretty good, 66, 65, 64, so it's blowing right where it should, 62. It's always a couple degrees off, but as you can see, it's a lot colder than it is outside. So that's right where it needs to be. So let's go ahead and go back out to the truck. Alright, so as you can see, the AC compressor is still running as it should. The needle's still in the green, so we're going to go ahead and just add a little bit more. You don't want to get it up to the yellow, and you don't want to get it up to the red. So like I said, when you want to grab the squeeze the trigger and tilt it up and down like this. That just gets that Freon flowing. And then you want to stop, and you want to check it. Only hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds at max. Let's go ahead and put it in just a little bit more. Now we'll go ahead and check it again. So now it's right in the middle, and that's right where it should be. So we're going to go ahead and leave it at that, since you guys saw that the temperature of the air blowing out was ice cold. So let's go ahead and get all this stuff put away, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Alright, so real quick, we went ahead and got the AC recharge kit unhooked, and I went ahead and put a little piece of tape over the cord just for now, until I can get to the out-of-port store and hopefully get a new cap for it as well. So let's go ahead and shut the truck off, and we'll talk a little bit more, and we'll end the video there. And then real quick before we shut the truck off, one helpful tip. Whenever you're running your air conditioning system and it's blowing ice cold and it's really hot outside, condensation and moisture builds up inside of your vents, and if you just let that moisture sit there, it's a cold, wet, dark place. That's where bacteria will grow, mold, stuff like that. So it's always a good habit to just go ahead and turn your AC off, turn your temperature up just a tad, and just let it blow for a while, and that will blow that moisture out, kind of dry it out a little bit, and that will prevent smells, bacteria, and all that good stuff building up. Because let me tell you, once you get smells and bacteria built up in your air vents, it is a pain to get the smell out, because you pretty much have to tear the dash apart, clean out the vents, all that good stuff. So just, it's a good tip. What I usually do is when I'm about 5 minutes away from where I'm getting, I go ahead and turn the AC off, let it just blow on normal vent, turn my temperature up a little bit, put the windows down. I just let it blow. Then when I get where I'm going, I turn everything off. And that'll just help prevent smells and all that good stuff for you. So we're going to let that do that for just a few minutes here, and then we'll get to the end of the video for you. Alright guys, and just like that, we have our AC system recharged. Like I said, it's that simple. Now let's go ahead and spend a few minutes just talking about reasons why you would need to recharge your AC system, when you should and when you shouldn't. So the main reason why you would need to recharge your AC system is obviously leaks. So that's one of the main problems as to why your AC may over time start blowing cool air, not so cold, or maybe even hot air. that usually means that there's a leak in the system. Now, yes, you can take it to a professional. They can run dye through the system and they can find the leaks and they can repair it for you, but a lot of times that can get very, very costly, and sometimes it's easier and better just to recharge your AC system. Now, if your AC system, if you charge it up and then 2 months later it's warm again and you need to recharge it, at that point it's probably going to be more cost effective and better for you to just take it to a professional, let them look at it and let them fix it, because obviously that's a massive leak somewhere, and that's just going to end up costing you a crap ton of money over the course of a couple years, whatever. $35 a can every 2 months. I mean, you're talking 75, 80 bucks every couple of months. I mean, that's just, to me, that's just a little too much. Now, in my case, I recharged this last year and it needed recharged again. I'm pretty sure I have a leak somewhere else in the system. Obviously, I think part of the issue was that low pressure port, which, by the way, Advance Auto carries a universal port kit for like $4 or $5. It comes with both the caps. You can get your little valve cores and all that good stuff if you need them. If that's what's causing the leaks, then you might definitely want to look into replacing that. Now, if you're just having to recharge, you know, once a year or once every couple years, then at that point, it's kind of up to you if you want to just once a year or once every 2 years, 3 years, whatever, spend the $35, recharge your AC system, and then go on down the road like nothing ever happened. That's great. But like I said, if you're having to recharge your system every 2 months, 6 months, whatever, multiple times over the summer, at that point, you really need to start thinking, okay, well, if I really want my AC system working, it's probably going to be better to have it checked out and have it properly fixed, so that way I don't have to worry about that, because AC systems should not leak, obviously. Now, times that you shouldn't attempt to charge your AC system if it's blowing warm and you turn your AC on, like I showed you earlier, if that clutch plate in the front of the AC is not spinning whatsoever at all, even if it kicks on, if it never kicks on, don't even attempt to charge it. Now, if it kicks on for 5 seconds and kicks back off, that's okay. At that point, you can probably attempt to charge it, and it would be okay. But if it's not kicking on at all, that means that you have more serious problems elsewhere that need to be addressed before you even attempt to put refrigerant into it. And again, you don't want to waste your money and it not work. So that's when you shouldn't even consider buying a recharge kit and doing it yourself. At that point, take it to a shop, let them hook their machines up to it. A lot of places will check them for free, like I said. So, you know, check your local repair shops, dealerships, stuff like that. A lot of times they'll just check it for free, especially in the hot summer months. They offer that, you know, free AC system check, whatever, and then they can kind of tell you what's going on with it. But that's all there is to it, guys. So if your AC system's not working properly, but your compressor is, definitely consider picking up one of those kits. Like I said, they're about $35. Make sure you get the one with the gauge and the hose like I had. And the cool thing about those is those gauges are reusable. So you can save that gauge and that hose and then just buy a new can. And I believe the cans are a lot less, probably $20, $15, something like that. And you can just reuse that hose and that gauge. They just screw onto the bottle. That's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you're stopping by for the first time and you want to, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.